Absolutely,
That
100%.
would be great. I could use some Hail Marys and some Our Fathers. You know what's funny is I was a theology major in college for like my first 2 years. And I really enjoyed learning about religion. But when you're force-fed it from a young age at Catholic school, like your whole life, it's tough to want to explore it yourself, So it's complicated.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Draft Digest. The sickest NFL draft and scouting podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Sick Podcast Draft Digest. I'm your host, Emily Van Buskirk, alongside John Vogel. Really wish Jimmy had let me finish that thought in the cold open. I was going to say, me and God were cool, but yeah, was not, hope that does not come off disparaging. I studied religion in college. I really respect people who have strong faith because I know how hard that is. Like I grew up in a Catholic environment, and when it's force fed to you, it's harder to develop that relationship, with God and with faith of your own volition because you're just being forced to do it. So it doesn't mean as much personally. But I very much admire people that find faith on their own and that, stick with it. And I think it's great. And I would ask that you all pray for me all the time because I need it. Constant prayers.
Okay, I'll add that to my rosary every day.
Thank you.
That's not a problem. I mean, that's the beautiful thing is it doesn't matter. You can pack as many intentions on there as you want, and the Lord don't mind. But hey, we're back.
Speaking of the Lord.
Bill Belichick didn't know. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's actually a great transition and segue into what happened with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so
tough.
I saw that. I saw this yesterday as of recording time. That he didn't get in, and well, here's my first thought. Don't we usually at this point not know who's getting in and who's not?
Yeah, I think it's like so who's on the ballot is what it is, right? Or is
no, because he's on the ballot, and that's the thing is. So every year
that he didn't get voted in is what people are saying.
Every year you've got the Hall of Fame finalists. Everybody that's on that list is wherever they're holding the NFL honors, and they know where they're staying, whether they're in a house, whether they're doing Airbnb or a hotel, it doesn't matter. They're in that general area, and then the Hall of Fame commission goes to each one of the people that gets in and announces it like the night before. And that's like the first anybody usually ever knows about who got in. Mm-hmm. Even John McClain came out yesterday, who's one of the voters, one of the 50,
right,
and said, we don't know who got in. And it's like, so first of all, how do you know that Bill Belichick did not get in? And secondly,
so here's what I'm trying to understand. So I've read a couple of things on it, but so they're saying that he will not be a first ballot. This is his first year to be eligible to be on the ballot. So from what I understand in this report, saying he will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, meaning he won't be on the ballot.
No, so he was. No, he was. That's the thing. They're saying he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer because this is the first ballot that he's on, and he didn't get in. He didn't get enough votes because to get in, you have to get 40 votes.
Right, but you have to be on people's ballot, and he was not on, I guess,
40 people's ballot.
He needed 80%. Yeah, so 40 voters or 11 people voted against him.
So, but that's my point is if all the voters who submitted ballots don't know who got in, how do they know who didn't get in?
Well, it sounds like they surveyed each other because if we know that he needed at least 80% approval, meaning at least 11 people didn't vote for him. So those 11 people maybe made that known or spoke to the other. I mean, this can only be if the people of the 50 know who they voted for and know who each other voted for. Do you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is how
it is possible that gets out because
it's possible, but it's unlikely.
I mean, you would think it'd be unlikely, but I wonder I mean, maybe somebody got word and then started questioning everybody with like, how did you
that's
leave
the
Bill
other
off?
thing that came out, right? Is
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame Commission made a statement today and basically said, we're looking into the whole situation, and there may be some people that are going to lose their privilege to vote over this because this stuff doesn't get leaked.
I love that there's 22 confirmed yes votes, meaning these people were like, I'm coming out and saying it. I voted for him. Yes. So where's everybody else? So all the other ones we're supposed to we just don't know.
See, I don't know. Like that's what is crazy to me about the whole thing is this is never. I can never remember anything, any time people came out and said this guy's not getting in the Hall of Fame. You know, it was always an NFL honors night. Found out who got, and then it was like, okay, so once they finish announcing all the finalists, then who's getting in, then you know who didn't get in. So, and then I also saw a report. I'll verify because I didn't check the account. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. They said Eli Manning didn't get in either.
I've been so clouded by this. It's so funny to me that they're reporting implied yeses, confirmed no's, declined to comment, which, okay, unknowns. It's like, that's how we're breaking this down. This is wild. But I guess he is a polarizing guy. And we saw that so much this year, like what happened. But I know you're not supposed to let any of that. It's supposed to be about the body of his work and the great things that he did. But I think the mention of quote unquote Spygate and different things, I don't know. Bill Belichick is one of those guys. I didn't realize that a lot of people dislike him. He's just a polarizing guy, I think. So maybe that's.
Yeah, it's because he was never very friendly with the media.
Mm-hmm. Which, neither was Marshawn Lynch, but everybody loves him.
Yeah, but Marshawn did it in a way that was like entertaining still. Because even like to this day, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like I must use that.
He was mean though, and he has been very blatant, being like, I don't trust the media, this and that, and like, it's funny, I guess, because it's him, but I don't know.
I think it just comes across better when you're like straight up about it and not being passive aggressive, in your press conferences. I think that's more
smart for his own good at times.
Yeah, like he was always really passive aggressive, and I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And then I think also, the whole Spygate thing.
Yeah,
like everybody did that at that point in time. Everybody did that kind of stuff. And Bill ended up taking the fall for it. So when you have a guy that is successful, kind of flaunts it a little bit, and people don't like him, the other people competing against him to make him, like a sacrificial victim for something like that. I think that probably tells you what the rest of the league feels. I mean, I know people are up and down. Another polarizing figure on social media is angry Scout Vet. But like he can't stand him, and you see him post stuff all the time. He's been on Belichick didn't deserve to get in because of Spygate and because of all the cheating scandals and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. And so that the league is pretty split on it. I think what it does is and I'm not PR firm, I'm not getting paid to say this.
Right.
I think what it just says is you can have a guy win 6 Super Bowls, 2 decades of a dynasty of incredible success, and it's still not enough. And then not even counting, the 2 Super Bowls you won with the Giants as a defensive coordinator. It's still not enough. That sets a terrible precedent, I think, for the future, with how this voting selection is going to go. And then what does that do to Tom Brady's success? Are we going to diminish him because of Deflategate?
I think there will be people that will try for sure. At the end of the day, Belichick won 333 games, 8 Super Bowls. If you're not cheating at any level, you're not trying hard enough. I'm just sorry. That's the truth. And it goes on. Everybody's trying to find an edge. I'm not saying he did or did not, or I'm not weighing in on that. That is what it is. That's between him and God. And that's fine. But it doesn't negate what he did and what he built. So I'm with you. It's not PR for Bill Belichick. I interviewed him recently at a college football game, and it was rough. He's obviously a different guy now than he was. Whether that's old age or Jordan Hudson's brainwashing, I don't know. But he was not pleasant to work with now. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because he didn't want to talk to the media. That's stupid.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope they figure it out.
I met him one time.
Okay.
In Mobile. And my buddy, Donnie Druin, was there. And we were both hanging out. And he walked in. We were at the old stadium before Hancock Whitney was built. And I said, hey, there's Bill Belichick. Because he came in one of the side entrances.
Yeah.
He had two guys flanked on either side.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, man, that's cool. I was like, Donnie, you want to go meet him? He's like, can we do that? He's standing right there. Like, what do you think they're going to stop us from walking up there? So we walked up, shook everybody's hands. And I said to him,
was he nice?
Well, that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, sorry.
I said, hey, if you have any film analyst jobs available, I'd love to apply.
Oh, wow.
And he went and he said, I said, I'm walking away, coach.
That's a tough. If that's what you're going to go and say to Bill Belichick, your first time meeting him, that's tough. I would say that's more on you than him.
It was 100% was.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
first event.
That's bold. That's a bold. Is bold the right word for that?
Bold. Yeah. But that's the thing. When you're the new guy on the block, you're going to take every shot, right? And that's what I did. So.
I don't fault you for. I think Bill Belichick is like that's outside of the realm. I think anybody else, I probably would have been like, yeah, shoot your shot, but. And I'll say this is why the College Football Hall of Fame is better than the NFL Hall of Fame, because at least they changed the rule so that Mike Leach, who will be eligible now next year to be admitted, can get in. It's just another reason college football is better. So as if you needed a reminder, NFL fans, there you go. Speaking of college football.
Yeah, we had the Shrine Bowl this past week. Senior Bowl is going on right now.
The Shrine Bowl? Okay, I've never watched it, to be honest with you. I obviously always look at the reports and see how people did, but I went to the gym yesterday during that time and I watched the whole first part of it. And I very much enjoyed it. By the way, having Daryl Johnston in there with Mike Yam, two of my favorite people in the whole world, just together calling that game and hearing Johnston's stories and then seeing his highlights, just chef's kiss to the Shrine Bowl. That was amazing. And probably just for me because he's a fullback and he's actually my favorite fullback of all time. But that was an incredible touch to the broadcast because a lot of these guys could learn so much from a guy like Daryl Johnston.
And Daryl's done it in so many different places and obviously he was involved with the XFL or the USFL that turned into the UFL. So he's done it at pretty much every level too.
Yes.
I think what I really liked about what NFL Network kind of did is they did bring in the stuff. They brought in all the stuff about the Shriners kids and which unfortunately they weren't able to make the game because of the weather. Normally that you've got the kids on the sidelines too, and they're doing interviews as well. But the game went really well. It was competitive. It wasn't, that was kind of the one knock on the American Bowl was that the game itself was very lackluster, to put it in, very nice terms, because obviously Scott did a great job putting it together. His first year they've ever had it.
Right.
And it went without a hitch, which is phenomenal for one of those events.
It's like really what you could ask for. It's like
exactly. Right. We got the Hula Bowl down here, so hasn't paid people their last check, but that's beside the point. So there was no hitches and it went smooth. This game was very competitive. I thought we had some really good performances.
How happy were you with like the edge rushing and the lines? I mean, I feel like it was that was a showcase for those kind of guys. And normally in regular games and bowl games, you don't get to see that as minutely as you did. I felt like it was very obvious, the good edge rushing and the good line play. You could see it in the game. I don't know why that was, but it was awesome.
what we've seen through pretty much all the All-Stars so far, I mean, from what we've been able to observe, the edge rushing groups are standing out everywhere this year.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a very deep class.
Mhm.
I was just on, Pennsylvania radio, PA Sports, talking about this today. Because they asked me, say, hey, what's kind of stood out so far this year? I'm like, it's the edge rushers. I mean, every All-Star game, these guys are playing really well. It's a very deep class, and there's your pick your flavor, pick your round. You're going to be able to get a guy there. That's what I think we got to see. But I really liked Mark Gronowski. And
everyone was talking about him. Yeah.
He had a really good week of practice. He's getting the ball out on time, making some really good throws. And then I think the thing that I really loved is Dean Connors. We had on the show, obviously, scored first touchdown. And it was Mark Gronowski who ran out there and he blocked not
the
one,
block for
two guys.
I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to bring
two guys on the edge and to spring Dean for the touchdown. That is the kind of stuff that you want to see from your quarterback in an All-Star game. He knows that he's got limited time. There were 4 quarterbacks on his roster. He knew he was going to get a quarter, and that was it. He knew it was his last play. He knew he was done after that 2-point conversion.
Threw a block to end all blocks. It was incredible.
It was a great block. It showed his physicality. It showed that he's willing to do whatever it takes. And I think that play right there, on top of the week, but that play right there really sealed it for him. We're probably looking at one of the first senior, if not the first senior quarterback taken off the board.
Nice. I love that for him. I mean, obviously my favorite part was Dean. I mean, he's not only my favorite person that was there, but I think you really got to see his shiftiness and the way he was able to come off cuts and that and change direction and create more space for himself on plays. To me, that was like the best resume. I mean, he played obviously well all year, but for some reason, this game, just his talent stood out so much. So I was really happy to see that. I'm excited.
I was glad that we were actually able to watch him this time, because the last one, we couldn't see him.
Yeah, that part.
I know. I keep taking. I'm gonna get myself sued over this.
You're fine. I am excited. I'm gonna say the other guy I was excited for was a kicker.
Yes.
Love me some Trace Mack from Florida.
57-yarder.
57-yarder. I mean, it's not like the most impressive number, but it's not all about size. It was a great setup, a great execution, and right as the time expired, you want to see a guy make a kick like that when it matters and the clock is expiring.
Well, so let's talk about that a little bit, because it is a little bit more impressive than that. Because when you think about a 57-yard kick, we've got guys. We got Cam Little out here knocking 61 or 71, 72 right now. Okay. Right. So I get 57 is still very good range, even for the NFL. But to go out there in an all-star game in a pressure setting and a half with a long snapper that you've practiced exactly 4 times with,
right,
and a holder that you've practiced exactly 4 times with, and go and execute that at that level says a lot about that whole group.
Yeah.
But it's specifically the kicker, because everybody holds the ball a little differently. I'm going to get a little nerdy here because I coached kickers.
Okay.
So like I had to learn a lot about this when I did it. I was like a quality assistant with the high school, and we had a kicker that had Trace Mack's range. Okay. And he ended up playing soccer. God love him. But hey,
it's a safer bet.
That was his thing. He loved soccer. So do what you want to do, man. But it was like, hey, I'm watching his technique and I'm figuring out what he's doing, and then comparing it to some of these other pros to teach the freshmen what he needs to be working on. But everybody holds the ball a little bit differently. Everybody's got, you try to keep it at pretty straight when it hits the ground. But everybody's a little bit different, and it's a kicker figuring that out with the holder. So to be able to adapt, and maybe he had a better holder there than he did in his whole career in college, who knows? But to be able to adapt and make those adjustments through the week and then go out there and execute in the game was very, very impressive. Trace Mack definitely made some money with that kick. That was awesome.
That was one of my favorites. So all in all, I thought it was a great, that might replace Senior Bowl. I need to get to the Shrine Bowl. I've never been. That seems like a pretty cool event to get to. So
you have to tell me about it. You'll have to tell me about it when you go. But
I will.
The other thing is we got the Senior Bowl going on. Day 2 of practice is wrapped up as of recording time. I haven't gotten a chance to watch day 2 because I actually was buying a truck tonight, but that's beside the point. Day 1, though, what I was able to, I got a chance to watch it live. I went through some of the tape. The big story right now is Diego Pavia.
I was gonna say, has to be.
I was very impressed with him yesterday.
Okay.
Now, obviously, there was a few mistakes. He bobbled a under center snap that ended up getting recovered in the team drill by the defense, and then there were a couple throws early that were a little shaky, but he shook off the rust and he went out there and he made some hella good throws. Even on some of the couple of the balls that weren't completed, they were good throws, put in a really good spot. Down the field, the big concern with him coming into the week was the measurement.
Yeah.
If he is drafted, he will be the second shortest quarterback drafted in NFL history at just under 5'10", 5'9", 7/8", 198 pounds. That is officially smaller by a quarter of an inch than Kyler Murray and Bryce Young. This is not a guy, I think, that you're looking at as a franchise quarterback, as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that you're looking at that.
Do you think he gets drafted?
Yeah, yes, I do think he gets drafted, believe it or not. I think he does.
Okay.
What you're looking at
even given his off-field stuff?
Well, that's what I'm about to get into here, because that is a big question, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing that you can say for Pavia, now Vanderbilt fans kind of came after me a little bit yesterday. I had to back them off. I had to say, hey, look, I knew about Diego before y'all did, so shut up. I had my tweet to prove it. January 15th put out when he committed to Vanderbilt. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, and it was.
It was a blast.
Yes.
But the thing with Diego that you cannot take away from him is the fact that he is locker room glue. 100%.
Okay.
Nobody that he's ever played with, that I've ever come across or ever heard about, has had a problem with this guy. He revitalized New Mexico State, New Mexico military when he was there. They won the JUCO national championship. He brought people to Vanderbilt. People wanted to play with Diego Pavia. And when they got there, I think that the SEC show from last year showed this really, really well when they showed the week Vanderbilt upset Alabama. That I think what you saw is that everybody respects this guy because he puts in the work and he loves football. To me, I think that's the part that everybody's looking at. The off the field stuff is mostly, it mostly goes back to the Heisman, right? The Heisman ceremony, he kind of crashed out after it.
He did
when he didn't win it,
He did crash out.
And I don't think that that's excusable. I think that probably he's going to have to answer those questions. He's especially going to have to answer the interview that he did yesterday on NFL Network, where he talked about the two people he's always looked up to is Johnny Manziel, clarified on the field, but we're all like,
yeah,
okay. And then he said Baker Mayfield, because, and I quote verbatim, he ain't scared of shit. And he said that on NFL Network, and I was like, oh my God.
I mean, that's who he is. Like, that's who he is. That's who he's been. I don't.
No, I 100% agree. It's the national. You're on TV kind of thing.
Who's giving him this advice? Who is counseling him? Is
Johnny Manziel. That's the thing.
Theo Vaughn is out here like dating his mom, and giving him life advice probably. So I'm like, I'm a little concerned about who he's going to bring into the building. Do you know what I'm saying? When he does, if he gets to an NFL, if he gets drafted, gets to a program, what is he trying to? I understand you're saying he's a good locker room guy, but also, what is he bringing into the building?
Yeah, you're gonna probably tell him, hey, you're a rookie. You're gonna have to earn some stuff here before you start bringing Theo Vaughn around. Who knows? You know?
I'm not, and I don't mean like physically, but also mentally. Like, who is in his head saying that some of these things have been a good idea, and will that advice continue, or are they gonna, are they good about kind of cutting those kind of people out? Because we've seen in the past, there's been influences that have stayed in players' lives despite coming in and being like, okay, knock it off. So I don't know.
I do understand that. I think that some things you can overlook a little bit if you're going to keep guys motivated and you're going to keep guys playing at a high level. He's going to come in and compete. He doesn't care if you make him the third string quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to play every practice like he's out there to prove that he's a starter. And I'm not saying that he's going to be a starter. He might be able to be a spot starter. He's probably going to be a damn good backup quarterback. But he's going to be that guy that's going to come in there and he's going to really help a culture. If you think like a Detroit Lions, if you think like
I mean, yes and no. Yes, maybe, but I don't. There's some decision making where I've been like, okay, some of it I can overlook as like frat kid behavior to a certain degree, but who will not put up with that is some of the veterans on the team. So then my question is he going to fall in line? Is he going to, listen to the people that he should be listening to, or is he not? Is the question I have.
And that is a good question. That is a good question.
How malleable will he be, and how much will he soak in that he should soak in, and then, not let the other stuff in. But I mean, he's definitely
that's what every NFL team's going to ask him,
Yeah. But you can ask him and he can say something, but you got to watch how he responds to it physically, his reaction, his facial. Like someone can say like, oh yeah, of course I'm not going to do any of that stuff. But like how they react, you got to watch him. You got to watch.
Agreed. But if you've got, let's say somebody spends a 5th or a 6th round pick on him, which I don't think he's going to get up any higher than that. It's going to be the height. It's going to be some of the other stuff. But you spend a 5th, 6th round pick and you get a backup quarterback. That's 100% worth it. Give it to me every Tuesday. Like that's worth it. If he comes in and he doesn't, right? And he keeps up the stuff, he starts causing problems. Cutting a 5th, 6th round pick at quarterback doesn't hurt you.
Whatever.
Like something else, right?
I also think it depends on where he goes. Like, what if he somehow got drafted to Vegas? That would be a little bit.
Yeah, that would be bad. I don't think you're going to see Vegas do that, right? But that's a good point that you bring up. It does depend where he goes, and that's why I think like a small market team, like a Buffalo, like a Detroit, like a, some place like that that's smaller market that doesn't have a whole lot of the other stuff. Even Jacksonville, Jacksonville might be a little close to Miami, but even still, like,
put him in the Midwest and just keep him there.
I think he would be fine in a place like that, where it's like, hey, like we are strictly about football here, and that's come in here, be the glue, compete, push everybody, and then when you get your chance, go out there and ball out, man.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be. And I just think that the media after this week, if he plays like he did the entire week, like he did the first day of practice, he's going to be all over the place in media. You're going to have people talking about he is a franchise guy, he blah, 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 first round pick, to he is an undrafted free agent, but he's going to be the most polarizing player.
I know. I'm curious to see if if they're going to put a camera on him during the draft, and if he's going to be at a watch party, if he's going to be at home. I'm very curious to see how he sets up his draft day, because I feel like that will also tell us a lot, as it has in the past. So I will definitely keep an eye on it, but I don't want to give him any more airtime. Can we switch gears and talk about a few other people? How about a different quarterback? How about, can I throw out a name? Cole Payton.
That's what I was going to say. Yep, Cole Payton.
No way.
No, seriously. So, friend of the show, Mark Warsack. scouts for the Senior Bowl. He hits me up. I think this is probably October. I was talking to him. Actually, I might have hit him up, but we were talking. He goes, hey, he said, I got a quarterback you need to watch if you haven't already. So who's that? He goes, Cole Payton, North Dakota State. I said, really? He says, yeah, dude, I watch him like Netflix. And
like he binges.
You saw why. That is exactly what he said. I quoted him on Twitter yesterday, and I said, hey, you need to make a T-shirt out of this, Gores. But no, you saw what he was talking about yesterday in that practice. He was out there. He was making throws. The arm talent's there. He's an athlete. He's a big guy. You know,
I love that he's a lefty. That's like one of my favorite things about him. Weirdly.
And that's what was kind of interesting is a lot of times lefties kind of look awkward when they're throwing the ball.
But
and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like your brain is so used to seeing a right-handed guy that when you see it left, it looks weird. I don't know what it is. No, he's smooth all the way through. Yeah. He's one of the best lefty natural passers I've ever seen. Might go back honestly to Steve Young. And he's that kind of a quarterback too. Yeah. Actually, that's a good comp for him, isn't it? Steve Young.
Steve Young. Sure, he would love
that. He's got that athletic ability, the big arm, smooth thrower. I didn't even think about that until I just said that now. But that's kind of who he looks a lot like. Yeah. And that was fun, dude. It was right after Diego, right? So Diego goes out there and throws, and then Cole Payton comes in. And poor Cole Robertson, like, they didn't show him on the broadcast at all yesterday because they were so focused on these two.
Yeah.
But Payton looks the part. That's a guy that's coming into Mobile. He probably came in as like a mid to late day 3 guy.
Yeah.
That probably moves up into day 2 with this week.
He did himself a service there. It was, and you love to see that true talent actually being seen and rewarded. So hopefully that does well. What about
the D3 receiver?
What
about the D3 receiver from John Carroll that just showed up?
Everybody has been talking about him. It's wild.
So what's really funny is John Carroll is like a NFL factory machine for personnel.
Really?
If you get on personnel websites and you read bios, you are going to see John Carroll on there a lot.
I don't think I could even tell you where John Carroll is.
It's Wisconsin.
John Carroll University is in
hold on.
Ohio.
That's right.
Suburb of Cleveland, University Heights, Ohio. Could not have told you that, but okay.
So
makes sense.
They have a lot of personnel people that do really well in the NFL that come out of that school. So that's the first reason everybody's talking about him, because there's no joke, probably half the scouts watching are alumni.
Okay. They're like, yeah.
But he looks freaking good.
Yeah.
He had a couple catches where he went up, he's explosive, he catches through contact, high points the ball really well, and was pretty smooth as a route runner. He's a guy that really made up. There's a couple FCS receivers that a lot of people have been in my mentions talking about. Daniel Sabowski from Illinois State, Trey Lance's little brother Bryce from North Dakota State. But this guy has some juice, and he might play himself into a draftable position.
That's exciting. Okay, well, I mean, we could go on and on about all these guys, but I wanted to ask you about 2. Obviously, we've talked a lot about Cage Casey. We always give him love. Boise State tackle. I'm doing a story on him that's coming out pretty soon. His story is incredible too, and I won't get into it too much because I want people to read the feature. It's a very interesting journey he's had, but he's impressive. So, what are your thoughts on him and how he's doing and where he's going to go?
Yeah, I think he's going to end up moving inside to guard.
Okay.
I think he's a much better guard prospect. And it's not because he can't play tackle. I just think that he's going to be so valuable there at left guard. Somebody's going to just go ahead like Peter Skoronsky a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I really think that he comes into this week and he plays himself into where Gray Zabel played last year.
Okay.
Gray Zabel comes from North Dakota State last year. Comes in as kind of like a maybe mid-round guy. Ends up going first round to the Seahawks and has been their right guard. Huge part of that offensive line, making the massive improvement that they did to go to the Super Bowl. That's where I see Cage kind of fitting in. Now, this defensive line group is really good at the Senior Bowl right now.
Yeah.
Really good. And they're giving everybody problems. And so the fact that Cage hasn't ended up on the bad side of a highlight reel, I think is impressive.
Yeah. He's been fun. I'm excited. I liked him from early on, so I'm excited to see how he does. What about, I had another name for you, Derek Moore, edge from Michigan.
Love Derek Moore.
I thought you might.
This is another one that I came into the week thinking this is the guy that's going to make a lot of money, because I don't understand why. I was saying this back in December when he accepted his invite.
Yeah.
This is a guy that not a lot of people seem to really know in the media. Michigan obviously kind of had an okay year, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But Derek Moore has all the measurables. He has all the things that you want in a stalwart edge rusher. He had a couple reps where he just went through people, including Markel Bell. And then everybody's like, oh, well, Markel Bell stopped him the second time. Okay, cool. But we got that first highlight where he just went through him. And he went through like two other guys. You know, so he's very strong. He's a really good speed to power rusher, and has some good hand usage as well to get off blocks and work himself into the backfield consistently.
Yeah.
That guy probably comes out. You're probably looking at another first round pick there.
I love that for him. What about Taylon Green not getting the best of reviews so far?
Yeah.
People not loving what they're
doesn't shock me. Yeah. It doesn't shock me. Look, I understand he's a Boise State guy. You know, I understand. He's been in Arkansas the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And there's a reason he didn't come out last year.
Okay.
He's a very inconsistent passer. And he's got the tools. He's a great athlete. He's got the great size. I mean, he's 6'6". He's true 6'6", 230.
Yes.
You know? But he's not consistent as a passer at all. His passing mechanics are all over the place. And everybody kind of knew that he's in that Felipe Franks kind of area. Where it's like maybe we move him to tight end because, you know, if he doesn't develop as a passer,
guy,
yeah. You know, Tyree Jackson's done it. Obviously, Franks has done it. There's a few people that have done that at the NFL, but he's got that kind of skill set as well. So I'm not necessarily. I think he probably gets drafted as a quarterback or undrafted free agent. However, he ends up getting on a roster. I'm not really sure he gets drafted. But by the time he gets out of the NFL, he's probably got a few years of tight end on his belt.
I do like him. Obviously, his interception numbers were tough, especially this year, because it's hard to trust a guy that, yes, can throw, touchdowns, but also gives the ball away a lot.
He ended up getting benched at the end of the year, too, for a freshman, so it's the same sort of thing with Garrett Nussmeier. Nussmeier got benched for Michael Van Buren at the end of the year.
LSU always has the craziest quarterback names. Did you notice that? Like they always have had.
What's funny too is Garrett's dad is the offensive coordinator for the Saints. So he's been around football for a long time. And he kind of talked about it. My friend Thor Nystrom posted a video today where he was interviewing him, asked him about the injury and stuff. And he talked about how that really messed up his throwing mechanics, and his offseason program has been about getting back to the basics, which is good. That's where it needs to be. But it does explain a lot of the problems that we saw from him this year, and that he probably played more hurt than he was letting on. And it really impacted him as the season wore on. Because you remember me saying it. When they played Clemson, he looked awesome. And then it was like after that, he was not the same player.
You know who I was thinking of was Mettenberger. I was thinking of Nick, like they've always had these quarterbacks that have like these really elaborate, like not always, but they have had a history of having names like that. And so that's what one and
Matt Flynn was down there.
Josh Booty.
Obviously Joe Burrow. Yeah. Booty played there. Yeah, they've always had some interesting guys. You know who else actually ironically played there for a little while? Didn't really play much.
Who?
But Steven Rivers.
I did not know that.
Random fact. Philip's little brother. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I grew up with Steven, so that's why I know that.
Shout out. Last kind of question I have about Senior Bowl, and then we can kind of wrap up with one or two college football headlines. But apparently Caleb Blank's not having the best showing either, which surprising, not surprising for you.
Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle?
From Florida, yeah.
Really? Because everything I've seen about him was he's doing really well. I guess
he had a sack during the full team period, but apparently he struggled a little bit for the rest of the day. He got pushed around in run game.
Is that today?
It must have been today, yeah.
Yeah, because yesterday he looked awesome.
Okay, so then maybe it was more today.
It might have been. Well, then that's not a good thing to see.
Yeah.
If that is true, because if you come out day one, you look great, and you come back day two, and you're getting pushed around, that means that people figured you out.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And again, these are just reports people are putting out because I obviously didn't watch. But you're saying he did have a good day one.
Yesterday, he looked pretty darn good. He was quick. He had power. He was getting off of blocks. But let's just talking generally, not about Caleb necessarily, but anybody that you see a defensive lineman at an all-star event, he has a good first day and then comes back the next day and doesn't play well. That's bad. And that's why it's because it's telling scouts, it's telling me that the offensive line guys that went up against him day one already figured him out, which means his arsenal is very limited.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have a bounce back from it on the last day of practice and you get pushed around again on the third day, that's a very bad note. That's a drop.
Yeah.
Because you can't, if you're going to get figured out in one day by guys that just go up against you, you're going to get figured out on tape instantly. And you're going to, and then you're not going to be an impact guy. So that's concerning if true.
Well, we'll have to circle back next week in next week's podcast and see what you thought about some day two guys after you watch it.
We'll have the whole Senior Bowl done by then. And then
that's true,
we'll be looking ahead to the combine. But yeah, that's exactly it.
Combine. Invites are out. We just don't know who's it. I don't understand that. Like invites, I believe, are out.
Yeah, so actually the combine list is usually distributed to teams toward the end of January. They usually have it by then.
I think
it's not announced publicly.
I've heard there is a list. I know that. When do we know? I want to know.
Usually after the Senior Bowl. Usually they release the list. They pick a day that they're going to do it, and the whole list comes out at the same time. It's not this leak of invites.
Do you think he is going to get invited?
No. I hate it for him. I don't think he does. And it's because he gets the Shrine Bowl invite after being at the Hula Bowl. And usually
too many things or
no, it's not too many things. Usually by the time the Hula Bowl was played, the team's already had the list.
So you wouldn't have accepted the Shrine Bowl if you were going to the combine?
No, you would have still gone to Hula Bowl. No, but the Hula Bowl this year was considered basically the number 4 all-star game.
Okay.
You had the seniors in 1, Shrines 2. The American, in most people's eyes in the league this year, solidified themselves as the 3.
Okay.
So when you kind of get to the 4, pretty much all those guys aren't going to combine.
But he's also in the Shrine Bowl.
But he got the Shrine Bowl invite because he was recommended from the Hula Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Scouts wanted to see him at a higher level.
Okay. Well, I guess do people drop out of the combine or they don't decide to go? No. Okay.
No.
Well, whatever. That was the only way.
No, I hope he does. I hope I'm wrong. No, I'm just saying that.
I feel like
normally
he told me, but he has not. So that's the only way I'm going to go. I'm going to go cover the combine if Dean goes because of the bet or quote unquote whatever we made on our podcast about the 40, and I was going to go, but he'd be the only reason. Otherwise, I'm not going. So I just like to know my future.
I hope he does. Because I think he would go down there and I think he would test well enough to impress some people.
Yeah.
But most likely he's going to do that at his pro day.
Yeah. which will also be impressive. Maybe we can get him to wear regular shorts at his pro day. That would be fun. I would go out to Houston for that. All right. Well, we'll catch up more then next week about, the Senior Bowl itself, and you can give some analysis on how you feel about some of these other guys. Something I wanted to bring up to wrap this up about in college football, there's a lot of things going around storyline wise, obviously, talking about the G6 candidate for, the playoff. It doesn't have to necessarily win there's some article written today about that. So we'll have to see how that falls out. And then obviously we have the format staying the same for the next year, which is what it is. I wanted to talk about my fun fact of the day. Gary Patterson coming back to college football as USC's defensive coordinator. Absolutely love this for USC. They need this. They need it. I don't know why TCU ever let Patterson go. Crazy to me, because I think Dykes was a step down. But I'm excited he's coming back to big-time college football.
That's been their Achilles heel. It's been their defense, and the entire time Lincoln Riley's been there.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been Lincoln Riley's Achilles heel, to be fair.
That's what I was going to say, is I think that we all knew that when he went there.
But you would think he would hire someone that would make him better. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think some of that. So the first part is USC doesn't recruit like it used to. It's still a blue blood. You still do well, but you're not a top 5, recruiting school anymore.
Yeah.
The second thing is the history that he's had. Some really good defensive coordinators have gone there, and I think that offense is so defensive. It's so defensive hostile that you almost don't want to risk the stain it's going to put on your career going there. It's the same thing with Josh Heupel at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Where that offense runs so fast and it relies so much on explosive plays. It's either 3 and out or a quick drive down the field, where you might put 9-10 plays together, but you took 3 minutes off the clock doing it. And that's kind of where USC doesn't run as fast, but they rely on the explosive plays. So your defense is on the field for more plays and more time in the game.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of been the issue, but if there's one guy that can kind of figure out how to take all the pieces and put it together that was available, it was probably Gary Patterson.
I 100% agree. 181.
Always had a good defense. Didn't matter where he was.
Yeah. 10 bowl victories, 11 double-digit seasons, 2 unbeaten regular. I mean, he is legendary. And my favorite thing is, obviously, he met with the media and he talked to everybody. He's going to be 66, but he's still very sprightly, very involved. But he said a lot of people would have run from it, the challenge of, taking on USC's defense and actually making it good. And he was like, that's why I wanted to come back. This was the only situation I would have come back in, is for a challenge like that. So I'm actually never been excited about USC football. Obviously it's not in my blood, being a Stanford family.
Yeah.
But if USC is good, then the West Coast is relevant. And we've always said we need Oregon to be good. We need USC to be good, in Stanford to be good, for West Coast football to be more relevant. And so it can only help at this point to have them be better. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
I agree with that. Yeah. And UCLA's Bob Chesney's going to do a good job out there, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the turnaround for LA at this point. It had to get pretty bad for it to get better, but that's where we're at. So I'm excited.
Fantastic.
It's been a good week, I think, so far.
And now that the ice is kind of starting to melt and people are around here getting their power back and everything, I think it's just on the up and up,
I'm actually heading to Dallas Friday. I was invited to attend the Doak Walker ceremony, the award ceremony. I vote on the actual committee, and I've been a special guest to the committee. I hope to one day sit on the board. It's my favorite award. I think it's such an incredible organization and what they do. And obviously I love running backs. But I'm excited. I'm heading to Dallas, and I'm a little nervous because in California right now is 70 today and sunny outside golfing. And I think Dallas is still frozen. So
I think it's clearing. I think we're kind of clearing up a little bit.
Okay.
I think we're supposed to get another Arctic blast or something this weekend.
That's why I'm not sure. But it's funny because we had the warmest day. San Francisco was the warmest city in the country today, which is funny. We have the Super Bowl here next week. It'll be interesting to see how weather impacts some of this. It sounds like it's going to be great here for the Super Bowl in February, which is nice. But
yeah.
I'm excited.
What a Super Bowl it is going to be. We'll probably get more into that next week.
Yes, we should actually talk about that because it's going to be fun. I'm excited it's here, although it's in Santa Clara, but all the events and everything in the Pro Bowl's in San Francisco. Always weird when they try and do that. So we'll definitely have to break that down next time. But
you can go talk to Shador Sanders while you're there.
I'm debating going up to some of the media events and seeing what's up with some of this stuff. So we'll see. But it should be fun. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. You good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. This has been another episode of the Sick Podcast Draft Digest. I'm Emily Van Buskirk. He's John Vogel, and we will see you next week.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Draft Digest on YouTube, X, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.